What is this syringe with a small cup? I took this pic at my ex's apartment, but she didn't want to tell me what this was for. I am baffled at how this even works with a smooth plastic cup on the end. I can't find any needles or syringes that look like that at all. Have any of you seen this before or know what it was used for? It's a nipple corrector, a medical device used to address inverted or flat nipples due to potential difficulties with breastfeeding or psychological distress. These devices utilize gentle suction to draw out the nipple, aiming to improve its appearance and position. The suction pulls the nipple outward, gradually stretching the tissue and encouraging it to protrude. What is this antique machine? It was at an estate sale in California, along with a few medical and nautical antiques, but the owners didn't know what it was for. It was about 2 by 2 by 1 foot. Thanks for any help. It's a Wimshurst machine, missing some parts. It's an electrostatic generator capable of generating high voltages. It was developed between 1880 and 1883 by British inventor James Wimshurst. It was widely used in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to demonstrate and study electricity before modern power supplies became common. As the discs rotate, cranked by hand, metal brushes and a system of neutralizing bars transfer small surface charges from sector to sector, building up opposite charges on each disc. These charges are collected by metal combs and stored in a pair of Leyden jars, an early type of capacitor suitable for high voltages. What is this tower with a metal dome on top and what I think is a concrete base in Milford, Texas? I've been driving by this thing for the past 9 years when I go to visit my mother-in-law in Dallas. It's in the middle of a field. Does anyone know what it is? It's the Tesla Tower, based on the same idea behind Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower, designed and built by Nikola Tesla on Long Island in 1902. It was an ill-fated power project, envisioned by the famous physicist-engineer in the early 20th century. The tower was meant to provide free energy all over Earth using wireless technology, but instead wound up scrapped by creditors after Tesla couldn't pay the mortgage on the property. The Tesla Tower in Milford, Texas has a precise electrical mechanism behind it, known as Zenneck surface wave technology, named after electrical engineer Jonathan Zenneck, who discovered that low-frequency electrical waves could be transmitted and received through the curvature of the Earth to and from a singular location. It intends to bring energy to rural parts of the world that currently have trouble accessing energy efficiently. What is this tool my aunt left me? It's made of copper, I think, and around 25 centimeters or 10 inches long. Someone said it looks like a brass pipe tamper, used for smoking tobacco. Does anyone know what it is? It's an early 20th century sugar hammer, traditionally used by cultures like the Tuareg and Berber people to break down large blocks of sugar, often in the form of sugar loaves, into smaller, more manageable pieces for use in tea and other culinary purposes before granulated sugar became widely available. Some sugar hammers, particularly those with elaborate designs, were likely used in ceremonial settings, perhaps during the breaking of sugar for special occasions or in the presence of guests. What car does this vent window belong to? I found this in a box in a garage, and it's a vent window, but for what vehicle, please? I ran it through ChatGPT and it said, "The part in your photo is a turbine engine stator vane segment from a jet engine, also called a nozzle guide vane, not a car part." Any ideas? It's from a 1958 Edsel, similar to this. Edsel is a discontinued division and brand of automobiles that was produced by the Ford Motor Company in the 1958 to 1960 model years, deriving its name from Edsel Ford, the son of company founder Henry Ford. Edsels were considered overhyped, unattractive, distinguished by a vertical grille said to resemble a horse collar, and low quality. Following a loss of over $250 million, equivalent to $2.6 billion in 2024, on development, manufacturing, and marketing on the model line, Ford quietly discontinued the Edsel brand before 1960. What is this table that goes up and down, and it tilts too? I brought it back from California. This may be unrelated. My great-grandfather had a tack shop, and he was a photographer for the Oakland Tribune newspaper. I looked everywhere, and I couldn't find anything like it. If anyone knows what it's been used for or has any other information on it, I'm super curious. It's an early 20th century adjustable camera stand, designed and fabricated by the Century Camera Division, Eastman Kodak Company of Rochester, New York. The curvaceous legs are bolted tightly against two enameled cast iron support brackets that house the centrally located square-shaped self-locking jack. The jack is moved up and down with the use of a large cast iron wheel with a finely turned crank handle. The top has a locking tilt adjustment as well. Does anyone know what this is? My kids found it buried in some ivy in my backyard. The house was built in 1947, but the date on it says 1909, so it could have been there a while. Does anyone know what it is or what it's for? It's the side of an early 20th century folding bench, probably from a theater seat, train station bench, or church pew. Some older passenger cars had those kinds of seats as well. The mechanism on the right lets the seat fold. What is this heavy cast iron object with a wheel that appears to have 3 to 4 slots where a belt could be placed? A lever and brake are on the side of the wheel, and an ornate cast iron guard with B and B covers part of the wheel. The part of the brake that touches the wheel looks like a wooden dowel. The thick brackets suggest it should be mounted to something. I've tried Googling to no avail. What is this and what can it be used for? It's the clutch from an industrial sewing machine, probably from an old Singer sewing machine. The clutch goes under the table, and it uses a permanent running motor drive. Here's a vintage setup with a separate clutch and a permanent motor. What is this thing? I stopped my nan from chucking it in a skip, here in the UK. Approximately 38 centimeters high, 29 centimeters wide, and 20 centimeters deep, or 15 by 11.5 by 8 inches. It says 1 cubic feet and George Glover and Company Limited, and it seems to be dated 1903. Does anyone know what it is? Is it worth anything, and what should I do with it? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.